Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've been live, so I thought I would jump on and just give a bit of an update, really. There's no guest today, there's no structured format, and I'll get on to a bit more of that in a minute. But yeah, I think the last time I came on was birthday week. I think I mentioned on it that Kasha and myself both celebrate our birthdays in the same week. And I think that the reason to at least pause the Daily Sib or possibly stop the daily element of the Daily Sib, I mentioned the potential of a weekly one, but the reason for pausing was in that week that there was a lot going on with work, also with our birthdays. But I think, yeah, really, I'd done a daily live stream interview since August, since not long after lockdown had started, and I don't think I'd quite realised how much it was taken out of me. A lot of people have been saying more and more over the time that they were pretty surprised that I was able to keep the guests booked in and come in and be prepared, but obviously also to just do the live stream itself. So I think there's something really nice and positive in terms of the feedback that's been coming through from everyone to sort of respect, if you like, for what's been going on. I think Sunny knows I'm live and has decided to start going a bit crazy in the hallway behind me. And also, yeah, as I've had that pause and reflected back on all the amazing people I got to meet or catch up with again, because some obviously I had known before, but either way, to connect with people in that way, to learn about them and what they're up to was really, really positive. And someone was saying to me today, just this kind of, there's like an archive now. So I think when generally we look at accessibility and inclusion, all of those interviews from fashion to travel to the law to politics to business, it's going to be quite a generally interesting thing to look on all those different voices and those different stories in a general sense. But of course, we are still in this year, and it may go on another year as well, but we're in a year of a pandemic, of COVID-19. And I think when the months go on now and we look back at what COVID-19 meant and changed for us as a society, but as a disability community, I think that catalogue, that archive of Daily Sib interviews will be very interesting to look back over, and I think will be used and referenced and cited in different ways, which is yeah, it's nice to know that those daily interviews will have some longevity as well. So I think that's probably what I was going to mention in terms of the April to end of August Daily Sibs. And again, I think you can all, particularly on my YouTube, the Martin Sibley YouTube channel, they're all much easier to find. They're all still on my Twitter, my Facebook, and my LinkedIn, but they're amongst all the other posts that I've shared day to day. Whereas if you go to my YouTube, there are not really any other posts and videos apart from them. So yeah, it's the best way if you ever want to go back and have a look is to go to my YouTube, and I'll try and share the link at some point. So that sort of passed the Daily Sib stuff. On the day I announced I would be taking a break from it and pausing, I was saying about a weekly Sib. So it's still in the sort of planning. What I've found is that even though I would only go live once a day, and the day and the time was going to be confirmed over as it evolved, but the idea was still to have multiple guests, so it would not just be one person, but it'd be 2, 3, 4 people. The challenge of that is similar to doing the Daily Sib, is people's diaries. So if I was to do a accessible tourism thing one week, say it's next week, and I reach out, I do a bit of research, reach out to the people of that world, it's more difficult than you would think getting everyone to agree to the same time and the same day. So this kind of weekly Sib live stream format is a little bit 50-50. But what I'm hoping to do is to potentially go a bit live like I am now, but rather than just a general update, have a more of a topic to speak about. And I think the people that I still want to bring their voice into it, I want to hear from influencers, change makers, entrepreneurs, anyone doing anything interesting, as with those Daily Sib interviews, is still to try and bring their voice forward. But it might just be getting them, could be to log in on this particular software and go live, but maybe less daunting for a lot of people would be to pre-record something, but it could just be they do a 1-2 minute thing. I have to say the other one, the feedback was that doing the daily episode, which was about an hour each time, 5 hours a week was just too much content for people to watch. So I think there's also something in that even if it's one episode with a group of people, that hour is obviously more doable. But if people were to all contribute with a sort of 1, 2, 3 minute video on a particular topic, and we'll schedule them through a week and have a topical week, that's definitely another way of people being more able to get involved, but also people being like you guys watching it, being able to actually have the time to watch all of it as well. So again, that has always given me some feedback. Graham saying about quality over quantity. One good broadcast weekly is better than burning yourself out and producing lower standard interviews. Look forward to the weekly Sib. Absolutely, Graham. That's exactly where my head's at. Graham also said schedule things over a month in advance, and that will ease your scheduling issues. So 100%, this is going to be about time management and productivity, really. And obviously, having taken that pause at the sort of couple of weeks ago now, but yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I've needed these 2 weeks just to get energy back up, but also I'm still running Purple Goat, which I'll come on to in a second. But it's still been very busy behind the scenes, but definitely needed a little bit of that time out. Gavin, loving the digging sounds. Go for it, Sunny. Yeah, that was when Sunny was digging up the hallway. Totally love the Daily Sib. And honestly, Gavin, really, you were such a cheerleader on those odd moments through those weeks and months where I was a bit tired. You very particularly kept me positive and going and energized. So I'll always be appreciative for your support. I would always be proud to have been a guest. And thank you, Martin. Yeah, so thank you, Gavin, for that comment and for being there. And Pankaj is saying you are awesome, Martin. So as always, thanks for the live comments and involvement. It's always been what's made this a really good feature, is it's not just me and it's not just the guest, but it's you guys commenting and getting involved in it as well. So yeah, as I was saying, it's going to be making sure that this next chapter is sustainable for my own time and energy perspective, and that's something I'm still feeling my way around. But then yeah, in terms of Purple Goat, we had Chris had a bit of a break end of August, early September, and I definitely sort of had a few days out, birthday week, of just trying to rejuvenate a little bit. But we're both back, alive and kicking, and we have our new starter, Harriet, started with us last Monday, and so she's all welcome and inducted into the Purple Goat world. And so there's now 3 of us in the core team of Purple Goat. But as you'll all be aware, we still have our sister agency, the Goat Agency, that we're able to get support and advice and some resource. Like if we need help with putting together a presentation, we can work with the designers at the Goat Agency. But the core Purple Goat team is 3 of us now. So we've gone from 2 to 3. And you'll probably notice there's a bit more stuff going up on the Purple Goat channels, thanks to Harriet. We've had a bit of a strategy chat as a team, and she's been able to put together some different content and just start to get out there. And yeah, so I suppose bigger picture update. We launched Purple Goat in April. We had multiple clients run multiple campaigns. We're getting more and more case studies and testimonials in the door, which is all really useful for us to learn more and more about. We had the theory of our value proposition, but we now know more and more what is the best way to serve our clients and get results for our clients, because that's essentially what we are set up to do, is to help our clients get good business results. But of course, as always, it's the mission that drives us as well. and it's been amazing to get to know new disabled influencers, work with them, provide them paid economic opportunities for the great content and storytelling that they do, and obviously all the work they've done previously to build up a big community themselves and have that media channel, if you like. So yeah, really cool to work with these amazing disabled professionals. We've got a couple of disabled freelancers that are helping some of our clients to run the social media channels as well. So really cool to work with that kind of talent. So it's, in the end, we're working with disabled marketers sort of within the core services, and obviously working with influencers that we collaborate and partner with. And then in the end, the amazing result of that is that disabled people, disabled consumers are seeing adverts and media from different mainstream brands and disability startups alike that they're represented in. It's, I'll be on my Facebook and my Instagram, and there's now people just like me that are talking about different products and services and initiatives and campaigns. And I think that's so important on a role model level as well, that particularly younger disabled people have that, not necessarily age-wise, older people and younger people, but just generally that there are people on social media that we relate to and we feel inspired by and we aspire to be like. I think that's really healthy for all people, disabled or not, but particularly in the disability world. I think that representation, and you can take it away from advertising and look in media and sport and all the things we talked about in the Daily Sib. I think that representation is so important. So I suppose a couple of other things on a personal level, sort of got through that week of feeling a bit more tired and got energy levels back up. Always very self-aware of my health, as much as I've got big ambitions and lots of projects on the go. I'm always very keen to look after sort of physical and emotional and mental health. Had lots going on in my disability independent living sense. I did a whole recruitment and had a new care assistant start last week as well. And that always takes quite a lot to train up a new personal care assistant, but that's now moving. My wheelchair kept breaking down for the last few months on and off. And finally, the amazing guys at Smart Wheelchairs, who have constantly been working hard to help find the problem. We tried to fix it at home so I didn't have to be without it, but ultimately they took the chair off, so I got in my older, not as comfortable, not as good wheelchair, but nonetheless I was able to at least be mobile in my old wheelchair, and they took the newer chair away and managed to find a fault. It was basically that some rainwater had got in a wire and made it rusty, and it kept shorting, so that the chair just wouldn't turn on for the odd hour at a time, which is quite frustrating. And that's how I literally move around and get comfortable. That's fixed. Talking to Motability, because my Motability car, the 5 years are up, and looking into all the paperwork of renewing the adapted vehicle. Various things have been going on at home with the garden and the house. So yeah, the long and the short is like personal life has sort of been busy, but particularly that, care, wheelchair, adapted car, as you watching with a disability will know, it's so fundamental to being able to get out of bed and just actually do the basics day to day. And when they're not quite in order and not quite in shape, it's quite stressful. So yeah, it feels good to have got all of those in order as well now. Had some lovely social times. You may have seen on my social media on the weekend, we've had this lovely warm Indian summer in September. So I managed to go and watch a bit of local cricket, local football, go to a local lake where Kasha did a little bit of paddleboarding, and just nice to spend a bit of a weekend with all this COVID and all the lockdown and being quite scared and fretful and anxious of the virus. It was really nice to actually just to go out and obviously be cautious and social distance, but to do something a bit more fun. And as some of you also will have seen as well, around the birthday time, I finally got to my beloved Nando's. So that was also an interesting experience actually around within COVID, but also as a wheelchair user who has always struggled to go to the till and pay for food. It was amazing that now you can do at Nando's, order and pay all from the phone with a QR code. So another sort of interesting consumer insight for any of the brands that are maybe watching, and how when you get it right, it makes a big difference to someone like myself as a disabled Nando's addict. And then, yeah, I think really just looking now going forward with Purple Goat, so we've got a bolstered team and we've got a lot of momentum with all what we've done since we've launched. Every day I'm speaking to some really, really cool, bigger brands. And as I said, also some smaller disability startups. I think we're clear on what we deliver and how we deliver it. We're clear on our pricing. We're clear on the benefits that it brings. So yeah, if anyone watching from a business world is looking to do more or better improved marketing with and for disabled consumers, then reach out, and I'm very happy to set up a call and let you know a bit more information. But I think otherwise we'll leave it there. It's great to have lots of people, a few comments I'll just quickly share. Jonathan saying, great that the Purple Goat team is growing. Absolutely. My podcast co-host, Mei Ling Chan, saying, love seeing you share your news. So for those that haven't seen the links, I do share them every time. But Mei Ling and I run the Exceptional Leaders podcast. I think every 2 weeks we publish an episode, so it's audio only, but really amazing leaders in the disability world. And actually, although I'm not doing the Daily Sib, it's that very similar format, just in podcast form. And yeah, Mei Ling and I have a great banter in our introductions, so don't forget to check that out. And Irene saying, thank you, Martin, take care. So yeah, as always, if you've got any ideas for when I get back into some of these live streams, the kind of things you'd like to hear about, it might be as disabled people, it might be as disabled influencers, might be as brands that are looking to work more inclusive and accessibly. I'd like ideally to have a sort of intersection. So it might be that we look at, for example, supermarkets, what disabled consumers want, influencers talking about on a more broad level, but also supermarkets getting involved in what they're doing that has been improved and better for their disabled shoppers. So that's the kind of place my head's at with all this. But I say for now, it may also be that I sort of jump on and do a bit of a live every now and then, just share news, just to say hi and to keep up appearances, so to speak. But yeah, thanks for those watching on the replay, and just get in touch if you've got any thoughts or questions for me. And lovely to catch up with you all today. All right, take care for now. Bye-bye.